Hi everyone, thanks for watching. I'm Lauren from Guthrie and Ganny, and in this video I'll be sharing with you the recording of the live question and answer session that I did over on the Instagram platform on Monday the 26th of February 2024. So I'm going to be showing you some of the new fabrics that have come into the shop this week and answering your dressmaking and sewing related questions, so hopefully solving some conundrums for you and also giving you lots of inspiration on fabric and pattern pairings. So if you are watching here on YouTube and you'd like to ask a question or contribute to anything that we're chatting about, you'll see me read the comments and questions that come in live as well. Then please feel free to leave a comment on this video and I'll add it to my list for next time. Everything that I mention is all available in my online shop. We ship internationally as well, so the links to browse all of them will be in the description to this video. So I'll switch over to the live recording now. I hope you enjoy it and I'll see you very soon. And also, if you are new around here, then welcome and hello. I've had lots of new followers recently, and if you are new to following this account, then you're very welcome. Please come in and join and enjoy the next hour of just fun, light-hearted fabric and sewing chat. As you can see, I'm here on my shop floor and I've got loads of beautiful fabrics to show you. So some new things, and then I'll also be answering your questions that you've sent in beforehand on sewing and dressmaking issues and advice that you need as well, and lots of nice fabric and pattern pairings too. So lots of inspiration to be had. So thank you for joining. And let's see where, I always like to see where everybody is. We're quite far spread already. We've got somebody in Sweden, hello from Sweden, and Norfolk. And yeah, I recognise some other names, and I know you guys are just round the corner, Wolverhampton and the Cotswolds. So it's lovely to see you all. Somebody's mentioning my dress already. Yeah, that is on my list to chat to you about. I made this just the weekend. It is a Named Kielo Wrap Dress, and the reason that I made it is because my bump is growing quite big now, and this dress is just a bit magic, and it's really good for a changing body because it's got these really cool wings, I guess. This is just the style of it. It's not a maternity pattern, it is just a regular pattern, but yeah, obviously because it's got all of this shape, you can kind of fit anything you want under there, and then you just wrap it round. You can wrap it at the front as well, but I like wrapping it at the back. So yeah, and it's really comfy. I personally prefer making it out of like a viscose or a modal or a tencel jersey, just so it's got a bit more drape, because when you wrap it round, then you can't, you do end up with like a bit of bulk there. But if it's a sort of thinner jersey, then it's good. So this was the fabric that I used here. It's the Midnight Wild Thing viscose jersey fabric, but we actually have loads of really nice viscose jerseys in at the moment. Bamboo jersey would also be good as well. As I said, tencel jersey would be good. So yeah, there's loads of options to make this dress. We sell it as a PDF on our website, so you can get it as the PDF, or you can get the PDF plus print out option as well, and then we'll print it out for you too. But I thought I would bring over some other viscose jerseys too, just so you could get some ideas of other things that you can make with it. This one is the monochrome etched jungle viscose jersey fabric. It's just a nice, like, sort of all over pattern. You wouldn't need to pattern match any of these. And then this one also comes in 3 colorways. So there's a greeny one and like a kind of purpley one as well. So this is the River Blue Brushstrokes viscose jersey fabric. And then this one here, I think this is a viscose as well. This one here is Petal Blue Mon Navy viscose jersey fabric. So yeah, they would all be good for, I think I'm gonna have to make another version. It's actually quite quick to make. A little bit of a pain to cut out because the pattern piece is quite big and long. But yeah, once you get sewing it, it's actually pretty good. I'm not very good at reading the instructions. I can't actually remember what it tells you to do at the neckband, but I ended up actually like folding the neckband to the inside, so it's almost like a bit of a facing in a way. And then I think it's made the neckline maybe like a little bit wider, but I actually like it. Also comment in new window. Yes, well spotted. You can see an absolutely beautiful new window that Jo has put in today. It looks so gorgeous. I love it. It's very spring-like. Got all those flowers hanging down, and then the nice lovely paper lavenders as well, and loads of gorgeous garments. Look at all those chicks looking fab. So this week there'll be a full like video tour and blog post that links to all of the patterns and the fabrics and everything that is used in the window. But yeah, it's looking very nice like lilac-y and green theme. Hello from Amsterdam. It's cold here. I know it has been cold here today as well too. Okay, so the next thing that was on my list is that if you are a bit more local and you are able to come and visit us, then we do have some exciting workshops and things happening in the studio over the next couple of weeks. We've got the cosmetic bag workshop on Saturday, which still has a few places left. It's really nice. It's a great project to make maybe for like a Mother's Day thing, or it's also popular for like Christmas presents or birthday presents. It's one of those projects that's really good for using up scraps. So yeah, fun to come along to that. It's just in the afternoon. It's like a sort of half day. So you can find the link to book that in my profile and the link in bio, and just in the workshop section online as well. And then we've also got a beginners overlocker class that I think still has some spaces left as well, and a jeans workshop, which is one of our really popular ones. So we've recently added another date for that, squeezed in another date. So there's still some places left on that too. That's another popular one. Good evening from Italy. We're very international. Welcome everybody. Thank you. The window looks great. Is that a pearl cardigan? I mean, it could be, but it's not. It's actually the paper cut copelia. But I think the Tilly and the Buttons pearl cardigan would definitely give the same effect. So you were close. Yeah. Okay, the other things that I wanted to share with you is, I don't even know how quickly this has come around, but a week on Wednesday is the next kit release. Seems like we waited ages for February for the kit release, and then all of a sudden it's now the March kit release. So I'm really excited about these ones. You could definitely wear both of the projects together. So it could be like an outfit, but you would need something else to wear with it as well. But really good, like nice separates as well. One particularly good for like generally mixing and matching with other stuff in your handmade wardrobe. And then, yeah, I did post a little sneak peek pic last week, which heavily featured zips. So there's going to be some zips in there. And yeah, so if you want to like try something new and just get a little bit of help with it, because remember you get my top hints and tips video with the kits as well, then yeah, you'll learn how to put some zips in. Got to be a coat / jacket, I think. Have you been looking at the end of the zip maybe, Helen? That was just a subtle little clue in there that I didn't mention. But yeah, if you look at the end of one of the zips in that picture, then you might see something which might guide you towards what kind of zip it might be and what it might be for. So yeah, make sure that you're signed up to our newsletter to get first access to that. So it's midday UK time on a week on Wednesday, which is the first Wednesday of March. And because I think these ones are going to be popular, so yeah, you want to be signed up to get first access before they go on general sale on the Thursday. And then somebody was also asking about fabric from last month kits that we had for the Tilly and the Buttons, Coco and Georgia kits. And they will be, that what we do have left is going to be available by the meter this week. But we do have a waiting list for it. So Hannah will be letting those of you that have signed up to be like on the inquiries list for it first. So if you do specifically want to know about the fabric for the February kits and getting a hold of some of that, then just drop us an email and then Hannah will let you know when it is generally available. And then once our waiting list people have had a chance to get some, then we can just let everybody else know that it's on. So yeah, we do have a bit of all the 4 colourways of the lovely cotton French terry that we used for the Coco kit. We do still have a couple of Coco kits left, not in all colours, but there are still a few left. And you can also get the top tips video separately as well, and then we show you how to put in some nice details, this little twill tape at the back, and then a cute little detail of the twill tape at the side as well. We do also just generally have like lots of colours of this twill tape too, so if you wanted to like practice this technique on other things or add it to other projects too, then yeah, we've got lots of colours of that as well. Hi from Cambridge and Indiana in the USA. Will G&G be at the London Stitch Festival? I'm sorry, we won't. I'm afraid at the moment I'm not able to do the shows, so I'm really sorry about that. It looks like it's going to be a good one though, so if you're going, I hope you have a lovely time. Okay, so then also in regards to the Sewing Society, if you have bought a kit or video from us before as well, then don't forget there is the Sewing Society Facebook group that you can request to join. It's a really lovely place. It's lovely to see everybody chatting and what everybody's making, and because you know that you can be like speaking to people who are making like exactly the same things you and the same fabric, it can be a really good way to get like tips and advice just from like fellow dressmakers as well. You can always just email us too if you're getting really stuck. But yeah, there's some really lovely makes popping up on there, and we'll have a lovely makers gallery post to share soon on the website. So if you want to spot yourself in there, don't forget to share your makes and see if you have been featured in our makers gallery. I mean, there's so many beautiful things you guys make. I could just like fill up the whole everything with all your beautiful pictures. So yeah, hello from sunny Florida. Hello. That's sunny Florida sounds absolutely delightful right now. It's very cold here. Okay, so in terms of other things that carried over from last week, so we had a few kind of comments and chat from the YouTube recording that I post of the live as well. So we were talking about the Vilene shields, which was recommended in a Tessuti pattern, and somebody said that Tessuti uses the Vilene shields as a way to stabilise, stay stitches, etc. So yeah, we were sort of talking about what that is and what it's used for, and then somebody else has also suggested that the Tilling the Buttons Rosa shirt dress is an alternative to having a tiered skirt. So yeah, I think we were talking about shirt dresses that didn't have like tiers and gathers in them. It's more fitted like a long shirt. So that's the Tilling the Buttons Rosa. And then we were also talking about when you come to cut something out that's got a border at the selvage, just spinning your pattern pieces by 90 degrees so that that border at the selvage then becomes like the hemline in your garment. So this question was, I have a pattern in a cotton sateen that's not quite wide enough for a pleated skirt. Can I turn the fabric 90 degrees as well to give the extra width that I need? I don't know if this would affect the drape. The only thing that I would suggest checking is with a cotton sateen is that sometimes the cotton sateens that I've seen are actually like a very, very fine twill weave. So it might just sort of, I don't know, it might kind of reflect the light different. I don't know, potentially, maybe it might affect it. I don't think it would be significant though. I mean, what you could do is literally just hold it up with the selvage at the bottom and kind of wrap it round yourself, sort of, you know, fold it round yourself and hold it up and see what it looks like, and then do it the other way around and see if you can spot any difference. I suspect you probably won't. I suspect it should be fine, but just double check it yourself anyway and have a little look in the mirror. It would be my suggestion for that one. Okay, then we had a question about the new Atelier Brunette patterns that we've been stocking. Do the patterns come in larger sizes? I'm trying to convert Canadian sizing from the French and British, but not sure about the exact conversion. A French pattern is good quality sewing, however, they are too small for me right now. Any suggestions? I would generally suggest that whatever a size is actually called or how it's labelled is generally like not worth looking at. And you just need to go off the measurements chart, because every pattern company is going to have slightly different ways to label their sizing, and even you know, there's even like different pattern companies that are from North America and use like, you know, US sizing, and I come up as different sizes in them, even though like my measurements are the same, or like my, you know, it's the same. But then I know that in a closet core I typically make one size, and then in say like grain line patterns I typically make another. So it's just generally not worth trying to work out and compare and convert what the sizes are actually called. Just go off of your body measurements. But yeah, I mean, as far as I know, the Atelier Brunette patterns are just, we have the ones that are available. So if you are looking for a different size range and the Atelier Brunette ones, it might be worth requesting to them that they think about increasing their size range. Obviously I don't have control over that. I can also feed back to them as well that I have customers asking for a wider size range, and you know, hopefully that's something that they would work on in the future. Okay, somebody's saying, is there a standard size for cutting, bias, binding? I have lots of cotton fabric that I'd like to make some of my own. Thank you. It depends really on how you're going to use it and what way you're going to sew it on. Because if you're going to sew the binding on where it's almost like, you know, it's kind of like this over, I don't know if I'm explaining that very well, like this over the edge of the fabric, then it really depends on like how much of it you kind of want to see. Whereas if you've got the bias strip and you're just pressing it in half with the wrong sides together, and then the raw edges are together, and then you're almost sort of sewing it on a bit like a facing, you know, so sewing it on and then turning all the way to the inside, then it just kind of depends. Maybe like about 1.5 inches, or like, yeah, maybe what's 1.5 inches? That like about just under 40 mil. Maybe something like that. Maybe if it was like a little bit wider, and then if you did end up needing it narrower in the future, you could just trim a little bit off, potentially, if you just generally wanted to have like a batch ready to go just in case. Okay, so the next question was, I'm relatively new to sewing and a regular gym user. How difficult is it to make your own gym wear, e.g. leggings and a vest? And do you have any fabric and pattern recommendations for this? If it's too tricky and technical, then I will invest in other garments. So this question's come at a really good timing, because I'm hoping that they come this week. It was just clearing customs, but we've got an absolutely beautiful range of yoga type fabrics. That's kind of what they've been like described as, or kind of classed as I've ordered them. They're really nice colours, and they're going to be really good for gym wear. So I mean, you're saying you're relatively new, but is that, you know, it's difficult to kind of gauge like what, I mean, it is like a little bit trickier to sew with that kind of stuff. I would say leggings are pretty easy. Leggings are generally like a bit easier to sew. You know, they don't have many pattern pieces. I would say make sure that you use a stretch ballpoint needle, because if you're sewing it on a regular sewing machine, because the eye of the needle is a little bit higher on specifically a stretch ballpoint needle as opposed to just like a regular jersey ballpoint needle. And it means that when the loops are getting formed, when it's making the stitches, the loop's just a little bit bigger because the eye of the needle is bigger. So then it means that the seams can stretch even more, because if you're making like really tightly fitted gym clothes, then your seams really need to be able to stretch. You can use the Mariflex thread as well, or you can just use regular thread and make sure you use a stretch stitch. So I would say leggings are pretty straightforward. The Helen's Closet Avery's a good one. The Megan Nielsen Virginia. If you look at Bara Studio, B-A-R-A, Bara Studio, they looked like they had quite a few different sort of gym and activewear ones. Fair Trade as well, which is F-E-H-R Trade. Melissa has loads and loads of different like activewear and sort of sportswear patterns too. Waves and Wild have got some. And also there's the So Liberated limestone leggings and top. Now the only thing I would say about the vest is that sometimes they will have like kind of binding on them, and that can be a little bit trickier to sew. So it might be that maybe you want to try the leggings first and see how you get on working with that type of fabric before you then before you then go into making like a top or a vest, which might be a little bit more tricky. So yeah, watch out for those new fabrics that should hopefully be coming this week. Depending on when they come, they'll either be on for the weekend or else they'll be on early next week on the website. But hopefully either way, I should be able to show you them next Monday. Okay, so the next question was how to line the D&D Magnolia skirt. I wanted to do French seams, but I was worried about bulk. I suppose it depends really what fabric you're using. I wouldn't be like particularly worried about bulk unless you were using like quite a thick fabric, but then the Magnolia is not really designed to be used with a thicker fabric. You know, you can all, like, once you have a French seam, you have that like little bit that kind of flaps on the back as well, don't you? So then on the main outer fabric, you could press that one way, but on the lining, you could press it the other way if you were doing French seams in both. So yeah, I don't know. I wouldn't generally be too worried about that unless it was a really thick fabric. But yeah, as I said, usually you don't make the Magnolia dress out of a thicker fabric, in which case I think it should be fine. Are ties made with fabric on the bias, please? As in like ties that, what kind of ties? I mean, not necessarily, because when things are cut on the bias, they stretch. So, or you can like kind of shape it a bit more. So it's typically would be used around the neckline or sometimes on the armhole of sleeveless things. You could make it with ties and they would stretch a little bit, but generally ties don't have to be made with bias. But yeah, I suppose it maybe depends on the context of the ties. Okay, the next question was, I have the Sorrento jacket kit in the cord. Does it matter which way I cut the collar? Nap, please. I would say yes, and I would cut it so that you want the inner curve of the collar that then gets attached to the jacket. You would want that at the top of the nap so that when you brushed the collar down, that it was nice and smooth. Because when we made the samples for the Sorrento, I think the cord was all like, the way the nap was, the cord was soft as you brushed it down. So then you'd want the same for that on the collar. Oh, men's ties. Okay, men's tie. Yeah, they are cut on the bias because that's how you get the knot. Otherwise the knot would end up being like a bit chunky, and because the fabric's got to like curve round the neck and then it's got to make the knot of the tie, it kind of needs to have that like give and stretch in it. So yes, men's ties are cut on the bias, yes. Okay, the next question was, I'm sewing faux leather bias tape. How do I sew it without it getting stuck on the presser foot? So you either need a Teflon foot, which is like obviously like a sort of special extra foot that you would buy for your machine. It's probably going to be like specific to your machine, so I would have a look up of whatever machine you've got and then get the Teflon foot that is compatible with that. The alternative is that if you get specifically Scotch tape and you basically tape that to the bottom of your presser foot, then that can also help as well. I have done that before and it's not bad. So you basically have to just put the tape on the bottom of your presser foot and then kind of use some sharp scissors to like cut away where the needle goes through, so the needle you make a little hole for the needle to go through, and that works well also if you don't want to wait or get a Teflon foot. Okay, the next question was how to deal with sewing a jersey that wants to curl up after initial washing. This is really, really common and it can happen at a few places. So you can see even like on this jersey here, you can see where the cut edge is and it's kind of curling a little bit. But then sometimes it can happen at the selvages as well. So typically the way that jersey fabric's made, it gets made in a tube and then they cut the tube to make it then a flat bit of fabric. So then to stabilize where they've cut it, sometimes it's almost like a kind of, not a glue because it's not sticky, but it's obviously some kind of like fabric hardening solution that they put on it. Like I can kind of feel it on the cut edge here, and that stops it from stretching as well. But sometimes I've had it then when you wash the fabric for the first time, it's almost like that finish on the edge washes out, and then the fabric can curl as well. So it's not, you're not doing anything wrong. It is very common. I know it is quite annoying. So what, you know, sometimes there's only like a limited amount that you can do to, you can't like stop it from happening. You just have to like learn different ways to sort of manage and control it. So when it comes to like sewing hems, for example, and if you find that your fabric is really curling and then it's difficult to sort of press your hem and sew your hem, then you can use Stretch Fix, which is a bit like a Bondo Web, but it's for stretchy fabric. I've got a reel on it for the straps on the True by Zoe tank, and you basically kind of iron it onto the edge of the fabric, peel the paper off, and then iron it on again. So that can really help with controlling like a curl in the fabric. Otherwise, you know, plenty pins, and I generally put, this is like the raw edge of the fabric, I put my pins in at 90 degrees to that, because that sort of like helps to kind of like keep the fabric open as well. If you know, if that's the raw edge of your fabric and your pins are parallel to it, then it's still going to kind of roll back a bit. So putting the pins in at 90 degrees can help sort of open it out a bit. Some people do suggest using spray starch as well. I've personally never done that, but it might be something to try if you're really struggling with it too. And then also just generally like pressing it with a hot steamy iron can help a bit. It doesn't totally take it away, but it can help a bit, especially when it's like really curled up after you've just washed it. Like you can press it with a hot steamy iron and it will go a bit flatter, and then it'll still curl, but it'll be like to a lesser extent. Or you might want to like weigh it down as you're cutting it out, so like kind of unroll it and then weigh it down with even just like, you know, tins of food or something as well, might help. Okay, so what have we got here? If you can watch GBSB on iPlayer, in one of the earlier series they make a man's tie for the final. I think it's in the 3rd series when Schnello was on it. They show how a tie is made. I'd forgotten about that. Yeah, I do remember that, because I feel like at the time I remember being surprised that was a final challenge, was making a tie. Okay, the next question was, any idea what on earth is my overlocker is doing? I've tried everything, new needles, cleaning, rethreading, but nothing works. And then there was a picture, which is not printed totally clearly because it's now in black and white. But basically what it looks like is the edge of the fabric, it's a stretchy fabric, and it looks like the edge of the fabric's quite wavy. So to get rid of that, you have to increase the differential feed. So you just need to play about with the differential feed and increase it, and that should then stop the waviness from happening. On the other side, it looked like there were some broken stitches or something was kind of, it was like it was skipping stitches maybe. So I asked Becca, who's our overlocker chooser, about this, and she suggested just checking that the needles definitely are stretch needles. Maybe it could be to do with that as well. It looks like maybe the fabric is actually some kind of rib, which can be very stretchy. So yeah, that was the suggestion there. I hope that helps. Okay, the next question was, I want to make waterproof trouser bibs for my little one and would like to line them with your teddy fabric. Would I sandwich them both together, baste them, and then sew them as one? Or do I make the teddy fabric like a liner and have poppers in places so that they are either lined or not? Also, how would I make the seams waterproof? Is there something I can put over them? So I would say if you like definitely want them to be like really waterproof to the point that you're thinking about putting something over the seams, then I would go down the route of more having the teddy fabric as like a liner that goes in it. And in which case you're not basting them together and then sewing them as one seam. And in which case I would use your waterproof fabric, make like the outer waterproof part of it. And then we don't actually have any, but you will be able to get somewhere. You can get like a tape that you basically end up ironing over the seam once you've stitched it, and that almost kind of like seals it and makes them more waterproof. So you can do that for the seams to try and help. I mean, it depends if they're like really going to be wading in water, or if it's more just kind of like splashiness, then you know, you might not be too bothered. But yeah, that would be my feeling if you're, I feel like they would maybe be like more waterproof if you did that, because also then the seams wouldn't be as bulky than if you like had the 2 layers together and just sewed them. So yeah, I hope that makes sense. Okay, the next one was, I visited your shop last weekend and it was lovely and super inspiring. That's great, thank you for coming. I have a quick question. Do you ever give up on patterns? I've made 3 toiles of a French navy dress and I don't seem to be getting anywhere nearer it fitting, and I'm not sure what to do. I love the pattern, but I'm just wondering whether to stop and try something else. I'm in between sizes, so I've tried grading the pattern, but still no luck. Any advice is greatly appreciated. I'm sorry, that sounds really frustrating, especially if you've spent time making 3 toiles and it's still not right. That's literally all I know of the context of this, so it's hard for me to give like any specific advice because I don't know where it's not fitting. But it sounds like maybe getting some like extra help. Maybe could you post something in a Facebook group and see if anybody else has made it, and if they've had similar problems, or if you look up pattern reviews for that pattern, you might see other people who've made it and maybe things that they've tried. So that's one thing to sort of look at. But if you're just feeling a bit kind of dejected about the whole thing, then maybe it's best just to kind of park it for a bit, try another project that is maybe like a bit more of a sort of palette cleanser, like a quicker one that you can just get, you know, so that you're keeping up your sojo and you're not getting too disheartened, because I can appreciate it must be frustrating when you're like trying to fit something and it's not helping. But it sounds like maybe, yeah, getting some help or advice, or like looking for other people who've worked on the same pattern might help. Megan suggesting the Fold Line Facebook group is super helpful with pattern fitting issues, and we get that a lot in the Sewing Society Facebook group as well. So when people are making the kits, and if they've made a toile, they'll like post a picture of them wearing it and then suggest if anybody's got any kind of ideas of things that they could try. So yeah, it sounds like maybe reaching out for some help might give you some new things to try. Okay, the next one was, could you help please? I'm making the Tessuti Jane dress. I'm unhappy about the line of the sleeve, and I realised that I should have noticed it in the photo on the front of the pattern before I started. The sleeve sticks out. Is there anything I can do? Is it because the cap height is too short, or could the shoulder be too short? I have enough fabric to recut the sleeve, but my attempts to alter it in the toile are to no avail, and I have made the dress. Is it possible to alter the sleeve so that it doesn't stick out? Also, could you recommend a good fitting book? So if anybody's made this dress, what was it, the Tessuti Jane dress, and found the same, please share. But things that were coming to mind was, yeah, if the shape of the sleeve kind of, I tried to draw a picture, but I don't actually know if it's like going to be that clear or not. You know, if that's like the sleeve, okay, ignore this one. If that's like the sleeve head there, and then I was thinking maybe if it's more like a cap sleeve and maybe the hem of the sleeve comes up like this, then maybe lengthening that might help. Or you just need to, maybe it's just like this is too wide, so you have to almost like bring it in. Like maybe you could cut the pattern up here and then like bring it in to overlap it. So this distance here is staying the same, but you're just shortening this distance here, and that might help to bring it in a little bit as well. Really, if it also have a look at just generally where the seam is sitting on your shoulder. Like if the seam line between the bodice and the sleeve is like, like a way over here, then that might sort of make it stick out. You want that seam of the between the bodice and the sleeve to be sitting more like kind of on the point of your shoulder. And if it's not, then it might be maybe you just need to do like a little bit of a broad shoulder adjustment to bring it down, and then maybe it wouldn't pull as much and stick out. Obviously that wouldn't be on the dress that you've already made. But I wonder if just in terms of suppose maybe if you don't want to like take off the whole sleeve and like cut it again, what you could try is just even like maybe making some like little kind of tucks or pleats more kind of under the arm, and that might make it more fitted just on this one. Or yeah, you could just recut it and do that slashing thing that I suggested too. Silhouette Patterns in the States has some great videos on fitting. Look up Peggy Sager, Sager. Thank you for that suggestion. In terms of other good fitting books, a popular one is the Palmer and Pletch Fit for Real People. It's quite a good fitting book. The Cashmerette books as well, they're quite focused on fitting, so they've got a lot of fitting things in them as well, so a couple of things to have a look at there. Okay, the next question was, I have just received my Jenna pattern and some gorgeous white seersucker cotton from you. Did you follow the instructions for the shirt collar construction? I've made a lot of shirts and blouses and this is a new construction for me. How successful did you find it if you did indeed use the closet core instructions? I'm going to admit that I'm sometimes a bit lazy at following instructions. And because I've made quite a lot of shirts before, I basically just put a collar in the way that I always put it in, which is where you get the under collar and then you sandwich the actual collar in between the two under collars, and then I just sew like all the way around it, and so it's just like the bottom edge of the under collar then, and that needs sewn, and then I sew that onto the bodice, and then I flip everything round and press it into position, and then top stitch all round the under collar. That's the way I did it on my Jenna, because that's just, I don't know, that's just the way I always do it on shirts. So yeah, but I think that I'm gonna be honest, I didn't look in that much detail on the collar instructions on the Jenna, because I was like, oh, I'm just gonna do it this way anyway. So yeah, but I think that is different from how it says it in the instructions. Sorry, I'm not sure if that's helpful or not. Okay, the next question was, is there any ribbing to exactly match your cornflower blue knit effect jersey that's in the sale? So I've brought some of this over. This is the fabric in question here. This is the knit effect one. It's almost like a double-sided fabric. So it's kind of like a single knit jersey on the back, and then it's like a sort of ribbed fabric on the other side. So I don't have one that matches exactly. I've bought over a few options. This one, which are just kind of like contrasting or tonal. This one is a bit lighter. This is sky blue organic cotton tubular ribbing. And then I've got one that's a bit darker here, but it's obviously not an exact match. Pacific blue organic cotton tubular ribbing. It's another option there. And then this is more of a contrast, but I think it tones quite nicely. This is the light sand organic cotton tubular ribbing. So I hope that gives you some ideas. Would that fabric be good for a shacket? This one here, it is actually quite stable. For it being a knitted fabric, it doesn't actually have that much stretch. It's got more a give. So you probably could, yeah. Okay, the next one was, what should I make with my Pansy Pima cotton lawn? This is the Pansy Pima cotton lawn here. It's almost gone, but we will be able to get some more. So it's just a really nice, classic, nice, light, crisp and lightweight cotton lawn fabric. I think the Friday Pattern Company Donny shirt would be really pretty in this. You can make some fancy PJs. Maybe the Merchant Mills Florence top. There's lots of things you could do with it. What I would suggest that you do for loads and loads of ideas is that last year I did a roundup of loads of tops, woven top patterns that I'd made. And then also another one that was like a roundup of loads of blouses and shirt patterns that I'd made. And this fabric would be good for pretty much everything, all of the patterns that are in that. So that might be a good place to look for lots of inspiration as well. But it's a nice versatile fabric, nice and easy to work with as well. Gorgeous colour. That's one of our new ones. Okay, the next question was wide leg jeans patterns, please. Thank you. For some reason I missed this question when I was writing down notes to answer it. So I'm trying to remember these off the top of my head. The Megan Nielsen Dawn jeans have quite a wide leg. The other one that looks really good in denim as well, which is not like a classic jeans pattern, but there is the Anna Allen Persephone that are really nice as well. They're quite wide from the top, and they've got quite an interesting construction because they don't have an outer leg seam, but I have seen denim versions of them and they look really good. And then I think Closet Core have probably got a wide leg jeans pattern as well. If anybody else knows wide leg jeans patterns, then shout them out. Okay, the next question was fabric suggestions for the Anna Allen Pomono wide leg version for the summer, please. So these, I had a quick look at these. It looked like they had a partly like an elasticated waist, and for the summer there's actually quite a few different fabrics that you could choose. I don't think it was last summer, I think it was the summer before, I did do a blog post that was on like fabrics that you can use for trouser pattern, summer fabrics that you can use for trouser patterns, and what they sort of look like, because there are lots of different options. You can go for something that's got a bit more structure, like the Rami fabric, which comes in lots of different colours. This is obviously like a nice rusty colour here, but this is nice for the summer. It's very textured, so if you like real natural vibes, then this is good. And then there's slightly lighter weight than the Rami is the Enzyme linen cotton, which again is quite textured, but this is also nice. It'll gather fine. This is good too. This particular one is the Lagoon Teal washed enzyme linen fabric, but it does come in lots of colourways as well. And then there's this Sorrento linen, so this is getting a little bit lighter weight now, so it depends how kind of structured or how like swishy and drapey you want your wide leg trousers to be. But this generally also looks good in trousers. I've got Merchant and Mills Eves and these, and I wear them all the time in the summer. This particular colourway is the peacock blue, but it does come in lots of other colourways as well. And then this is also really good for trousers. This is the viscose linen. This is the pink sorbet colourway. Again, comes in lots of other colours. And this is really good for wide leg trousers. I've made the Friday Pattern Company Saguaro trousers in this, and it's really nice. And also the True by Stanley as well. So yeah, it's another nice versatile one for trousers. And then finally, sorry, I'm spoiling you the choices here. This one is the Smooth Drape Tencel Twill, which is got a nice twill weave to it. It's very drapey, very soft. It's going to be more swishy as well. So again, you need to have a think about, do you want them to be like loose and swishy, or do you want them to have a bit more structure? So the more structured end is going to be like the Enzyme linen cotton and the Rami, and then the more swishy end is like then moving from the Sorrento to the viscose linen to the Tencel. Yeah, so lots of nice options there. Okay, somebody's suggesting Sew Over It do the ultimate jeans, which has a wide leg option. Good to know, thank you. Okay, the next one was, would the Rami fabric work for the Tilly and the Buttons Alexa jumpsuit? That's the Rami fabric there. Yes, I think it would. I think it would look really good. And then we've got, I would like to sew a little shirt for my niece, age 7, and I was wondering what pattern you would suggest. So we stock a range of the French pattern companies, the Icati ones, and there's a few little nice kind of little shirts, sort of blouses in that. There's the Alex blouse and dress, and the Irma top and the Stockholm. They're all like really cute little sort of tops. So yeah, check them out. They're all on the website as well. And then we've got pattern ideas for denim shorts, please, in preparation for summer. So I have made the Dawn jeans short version before, which is really nice. That's got quite a few different fly options. So yeah, that's more if you want kind of like, they look like jeans but they're shorts. So yeah, but they're really good. They look nice. The Landers are also really nice as shorts as well. They've got a button fly and then kind of patch pockets on the front and on the back. I have made the shorts version of them too. They're really nice as well. But then you could also, it depends what kind of weight of denim that you're going for. I would say for the Dawn and the Lander, that's like a more sort of structured, heavier weight, non-stretch denim that you would want to be using for them. But then if you went for like a lighter weight denim, I'm sorry I forgot to bring it over, but we've got, I'm pretty sure it's called the combed cotton denim, and it's a much lighter weight denim. And it would be good for the True Buys Emerson shorts or the Danny shorts as well, which have both got a gathered part of their waistband. But because the denim's lighter weight, then it would be fine with that. So yeah, it depends what sort of thickness of denim that you were hoping to use. Okay, then the last question that I've got, so if anybody else has any other questions or anything, then let me know now. What is your lightest weight jersey? It's for a loose fitting Tina Givens tunic. So I would suggest for, if you want a plain, then our Tencel jersey is a good option. This has been wrapped around the bowl the wrong way for some reason. This is very lightweight, it's very swishy, as you can see, very drapey. And so yeah, this one would be good. This is specifically the Dahlia Pink Tencel Modal jersey fabric, but this range does come in lots of other colours as well. And then also the viscose jerseys that I showed you at the start, which is like what I've made my own dress in as well. So we've got lots of different prints and designs and stuff in the viscose jerseys. So some like more colourful ones, like that one, more kind of like abstract prints like this one here. So yeah, viscose jersey or the Tencel jersey would be good for that if you're looking for something lightweight. And then also, before I go, but if you do have any other questions, please let me know them now. So I've got a new fabrics video coming out on, should be on Wednesday. So that'll be on my YouTube channel, where you can see a roundup of all the new fabrics that we've had during February. So you can see nice close-ups of that. Well, it's a really popular way for people who aren't able to come to the shop to see and feel the fabrics. You can just sort of see them up close a little bit. But I thought I'd show you some of them that are going to be in that video. This is a new one that we've had that I think is going to be a popular classic. This one is the navy polka viscose linen fabric. So it is 70 viscose and 30% linen, and then it's just got a nice sort of random spot on it. So because it's viscose linen, it's got a nice amount of sort of drape, nice and versatile. I think you can make jumpsuits with it, some nice lightweight trousers, you can make dresses too. So it's a really lovely one. And then we've also, I'll show you this one because we had it before and then it went out of stock, but it's come back in again and in another colourway as well. So this was the original colourway here. It's on just a plain weave viscose, so it's nice and smooth. And it is the Ink Arts and Crafts floral viscose fabric. It's really nice. Hopefully you can sort of see the scale. If I hold some up, you can see it's nice and floaty and drapey. I don't think you need to line it as well. It's got like a good thickness to it while still having drape. And then the new colourway that has come out of this, very nice for spring, is this gorgeous, it's kind of like a sort of duck egg blue. It's really nice. So yeah, same print, same scale and everything, just in a much lighter colourway. And then we've also had some new viscose jersey prints. I actually think I didn't end up bringing those ones over. And then these are some cotton jerseys that we've had as well. Gorgeous colours in this one. This is the Pink Artist Floral Cotton jersey. So it's like classic sort of t-shirt weight type jersey, but I love all the colours in that. It's gorgeous. Quite a big sort of abstract scale. I personally wouldn't bother matching that if it was me. I think it's like abstract and random enough. But yeah, a nice kind of pinky sort of purpley colourway. And then a lovely kind of warmer like orange and reddy colourway as well. So that's going to be really good for nice little t-shirts and tops and stuff. Nice colourful one there. So yeah, that's a little flavour of some of the things that are going to be my new fabrics video. But yeah, that will be out on Wednesday for you all to see. Okay, so the other questions that I've got here are, you have gorgeous green navy bamboo poplin on your website under new arrivals. is this fabric draped like viscose, looking to make a floaty dress? Now, you say that. I do actually have some of it here, because I was going to show it to you, but then the roll is quite heavy. Oh, this is it here. So yeah, it does drape like viscose. The poplin indicates that it is a little bit heavier weight, it's a little bit thicker, but it does still drape pretty well. I'll hold quite a chunk out so you can see. This also comes in a magenta colourway, so navy, but then where it's green, it's like a magenta colour. And you can see it's quite large scale as well. So this particular one is the Emerald Shadow Floral Bamboo Cotton fabric. So yeah, I would say yes, it does drape like viscose. Sorry if I missed it at the start, but any hints for the next kit, please? Yeah, I did give some at the start. I'll be posting the recording of this up afterwards, so you can. It's pretty near the start. I talk about it. Does the rust ramie have the same interesting texture as the ramie and the jacket kit from last summer, please? It does, yeah. It's exactly the same fabric, same supplier, it's just a different colourway. What kind of fabric could I use for Tilly Freya stretch dress from the stretch book? I think it suggests cotton jersey, but I don't want the dress to cling, if that makes sense. You could use something that's a little bit heavier, like a cotton French terry, like a cotton loop back, and that's going to be a bit thicker. The other thing that you could use as well, they used to be on the shelf beside me here, but they've been moved now. We do have some like viscose ribbed fabrics as well, which are really nice and cozy and fluffy, and they wouldn't really, I think you would feel like they wouldn't cling as much as a cotton jersey would. They are more of a sort of wintry fabric, so I don't know if we've got like a huge range left. But yeah, if you have a search for ribbed viscose on the website, I think you'll find it. I think we do still have a little bit of that left. What is the fabric you are wearing? The fabric I'm wearing is this one here, which is the Midnight Wild Thing viscose jersey fabric. And it's the Named Kielo Wrap Dress. Okay, well, thank you very much everybody for your questions and watching live and tuning in. If you're a little bit late to the party, don't worry, you can watch back. I'll be saving the recording to my profile anyway, and then I'll be posting it on YouTube too. So that'll be later on tonight, internet connection depending. But thank you everybody. Thanks for your thanks and all your little love hearts in the corner. It's very cute. And yeah, I will see you next week. I'm not sure how many more weeks I'm going to manage the lives, to be honest. I am starting to struggle with them a little bit because my body is getting a bit big and heavy at the front. And yeah, I just find the evenings quite tiring. Because I still have to like work all day on a Monday, so it ends up being really kind of like a sort of 13-14 hour day for me on a Monday. But yeah, I think I'll definitely be here next week, and then I'm just gonna have to like see how I feel as the weeks go on. I have been starting to put together a little backup plan so that you guys won't totally miss out when I'm not able to do the lives, because remember, the G&G team are all so amazing and they all love fabric and they love sewing as much as I do, and they're all like really clever and make amazing things, and you guys are going to really benefit from like hearing what they've got to say as well. Like, they're really good at picking out stuff from the shop and advising customers and making stuff, so yeah, the G&G team will definitely be able to share their wisdom on all things dressmaking in my absence. I mean, obviously I'm not like disappearing. I will still have a brain. It's just hard for me to like move all the fabrics around and stuff. So yeah, but I will be here next week, and then I'll just sort of see what happens over the coming weeks and when I kind of transition into probably not doing the lives every Monday at 8 o'clock for a little bit. Actually, it's quite hard to get my head around. Like, I've been doing them for so long because I started doing them in COVID. time when people couldn't come to the shop at all, and then it just, you know, something just kind of becomes part of your weekly routine. And then sometimes I get a bit disorientated if I don't do it, because I'm like, oh, but that's what I do on a Monday. So yeah, I'll be back again eventually, but there's just going to be like a little interim period where it's yeah, the routine needs to be slightly disrupted. But thank you for all your well wishes, everybody. That's very kind. But yeah, I'll see you next week anyway. And that new blog post on the window display as well, also coming out this week. It's all happening this week. So yeah, plenty of things for you to still get lots of inspiration from. So enjoy the rest of your evening, and I'll see you soon. Bye.